I'm almost ready. I'm almost ready. Hang on. What's that button do? Hit that button. God damn it. This button. There we go. Hopefully you can see me, hear me, and the colour balance doesn't offend you. And I'm not talking about my hair. Right, here we go. It's sorry, I had a little disaster just before I started, so I'm just cleaning up. As usual, there is juice everywhere. Always keep a microfiber cloth. Right. Just my blood test came back 75 VG. Yeah, I know that one. I know that one. Right, with any luck, there's only a few people here, so we can avoid all the strange questions like, what's your favourite atty and what e-lick would you recommend? Because we've not got time for them. We've not got time for them. Do I want to answer a question in the Subaru Foresters Owner Club right now? Possibly not. It's possibly not the right time to do this. Right. How do we do this? Let's do this properly. Let's do this properly. So I need to go to live chat. And so I can see everybody that has decided to come along and join in. Fuck me! My second favourite American is in chat. Oh man, angsty. Stroll on, man. No sleeves. Oh, I wish I had no sleeves now. Sorry, that took me back. That took me back for just a split second there. I apologise. I'm going to go there. There was vaping royalty. Just strolled in the door. Just strolled in the door. Breeze Tones, who has now been given a spanner because he's almost trustworthy. Ryan, Peter. Hey, Peter. Ricky Face Meat. What a name. Rick Hatman. Adrian, my quality control guru, is in chat. Quilly, Andrew, Paul Paulson is in. Hello, Paul. Terry, Craig D. Who are you upsetting these days? I don't see you about much these days, buddy. Andy, I thought that was a hat. That's 100% mine, I'll have you know. I'm not saying it's not a hat, but it's all mine. Terry, I did find the battery cap. I was sitting on it the whole time. Who knew? I was actually sitting on it. Mr. Anderson, how you doing? It's inevitable. And Angsty, just awesome to see him in there. He's probably away again because he's gone. Who wants to talk about vaping? And it's okay that all up here. Mo set the pyramid light off. Yeah, Mo. What's happened right now is that Mo is seen that I've gone live. He's gone to speak to his good lady and said, "Listen, do you mind if I just go and watch Todd do a video for about an hour? I'll not be long. Probably just an hour, and then I'll come straight back." And she's gone, "Okay, you can have an hour." So I'm going to do my damnedest to talk for longer than an hour so that he gets into trouble. And what is my favourite sausage? Smoked. Peter VB, who's your favourite paying subscriber? Any of them. Angsty, how have you been? Angsty, as you can see, I'm just getting old. That's the only thing that I've got down pat is getting older. Rick, Mo, yes, please. Those of you that are in Discord, and please, anything you see or hear in Discord is for Discord only and possibly not for public consumption. In other words, don't keep shouting and swearing at me like you usually do. Martin, Andy, Dave Anderson, Mick Blizzard, Mr. Blizzard. Hey up, I hope your trip to the hospital went okay. Terry, I told you I was in the chair. Any mentions of broccoli shall be pre-approved. Yes, broccoli's fine. We're okay with broccoli. We don't have any issues with broccoli. Anthony. The horrors persist. When's the plumes coming back? Now is the right opportunity for the plumes of hazard to come back. The vaping world needs a quality vape show back. Tim, Mr. Tim Lees, maker of Executive Squonkers, has joined. Mr. Fisher, the Godfather, is here. Peter, is it Peter? Is it Peter? Is that? I don't know if I say many names wrong. What else have I got going on here? Russell Blair, straight in there. Listen, if it wasn't for the fact we're only 7 minutes in, and there's a possibility that my mum or dad could be listening right now, I'm not going to say what you know I want to say. I really want to say you know what I'm thinking. Just go with it. GT a WinCam or Twin Cam has joined. Hello, my little herring munching friend. Why weren't you invited? We were hoping you were going to have a night off tonight, actually. We're all getting good. Jim, hi Jim, and I'm sleepy. I know just how you feel. Even though I'll get that custard batter cake made. Do you know, actually, for those of you, most of you know, Scott, I get you 69. It used to, I saw the recipe years ago for the juice, and that was I tried mixing juice for a while at one point. When I say for a while, for one video, I did a whole mixing video, and then I got fed up with it, and basically realised that at that point in time I could get juice for free because I'm a begging reviewer, you know, that's what we're all about. So then I stopped making juice, but I should just because for nothing else, it was Scott, who was the OG reviewer in my book. Andrew, something along the lines of his your da sales Avon. It would not have been that polite. It would not have been polite. Stronger than Bob. But if you've met Russell, you know that you need something stronger than that. Scott even did a clip in mixing with a guest appearance by a professional vapor. These professional vapors get everywhere. Right, I've had that. I need to have a vape. What am I vaping on? Right, let's see if this actually works tonight. I am vaping on this. I'm still chugging away with Mr. Bogan's little Ether V2, and that's an Adelro. And if you've watched the video, yes, I do reviews. Then there's no shame to it at all. I've recorded the review at the beginning of the week. I'm still vaping with it by choice, and I'm enjoying it. I truly am enjoying vaping with it. There are some cons, as I disclosed or I gave in the video. So yeah, if you're, how's the Ether V2? Go watch the review, my friend. Go watch the review. So vaping away on that. I am also vaping away on this. This arrived from El Cigart. This is the oval side by side. And on there I've got the Umbrella Mods 7 stock coil tank. This is for those, well, El Cigart have done a line of mods in this, not style. They look similar, but you know, borrow, side by side, standard regulated. You know, they've done various ones, and this is the oval side by side. And so far, I've not used it that much, so I can't really give much in the way of feedback. But as usual, everything is done in-house. Tubes, prints, bodies, everything done in-house. So, been vaping away in that. And what was the other thing that arrived? Oh, that nearly forgot. This arrived as well. This is the Cthulhu AIO 2. Is it the AIO 2, I think they're calling it? I did an unboxing on this for my patrons this afternoon. It comes with actually comes with a tank, and it comes with an RBA as well. And I have to say, I've been vaping this all day since I did the unboxing, and the RBA is really good, really good. The only thing that I found was that I've been vaping away with it for 2 or 3 hours, and 3 or 4 hours actually, been longer than that. And I went to take a vape, and all of a sudden the resistance had just changed, and I thought, oh no, it's the board's knackered or something, and I thought it was a problem. But it turns out that one of the post screws had slackened off. I don't know if it was with heat or if I hadn't nipped it up properly, but it definitely backed off. But the mod itself is it's singing. It really is singing. Angsty, take care, my man. Thank you so much for joining in, and an absolute honour to have you, bud. An absolute honour. Disgusting Iron Man theme, please. No, that's not a Red Delro. And like Scream Session Brian, Caveman, how you doing? Yosef, my favourite Egyptian, it has to be said. Who's late, yes. About as useful. Well done, Tim. Well done. Andy, do you use any pods? No. Not by choice. I will review pods, but it's not for me. I mean, I will review them, but to vape by choice, it's not something I do, because it's not the kind of gear I like. So there we go. Dion, good evening. High beam indicator airflow. Oh, Jeff had the same issue. Good to know. Yes, it's their own chip. It's the V2 version of the chip. Yes, I went there. I went there. Any tips on the Ether V2? All in the review, my friend. All in the review. Can you do a size comparison with that Cthulhu? Listen, my Mexican friend, you're at it. Because I know, you saw me doing a size comparison this afternoon. Just because you don't get out your bed until some god-awful time. Yes, it is the Atom V2. 60 watt chip, temp control, all that, bypass, power mode, and so on and so forth. Right. How can I put this? Right. I was actually going to sit and watch the new animated Terminator tonight, because on a Thursday night the missus goes out to play for a couple of hours, and I get some peace and quiet. So I thought, I'm going to sit and watch something. Then I realised that I've not really done much in the way of reviews. I kind of had a bit of last week off. There's not been much come in for review, so I thought I would just chill. And then I thought, I should really put something up on the channel, so I thought a vlog would be the way to do it. And so I went in the Facebook group and I posted up and I said, has anybody got any questions? So I thought I would do a vlog, but I would just kind of let you guys direct which way it goes. I've not really got anything in particular to talk about or get my knickers on a twist over, because why would I? But I did post in the Facebook group, and some people did leave some questions. There were even some serious questions. What else have we got here? I've got New Wave Dave. Ben. Mrs. Mo. Oh. Please tell me that's the real Mrs. Mo. Oh, Mrs. Mo. I so hope that's you. Mr. Mo is going to be shaking in his boots right now. What was it? Oh, that's totally thrown me. That's totally thrown me. Let's just find some of these questions. There were questions. Sorry. It's here. It's the real Mrs. Mo. Oh, God. Oh, there was another one. Right. As I've said many, many times in the past, there are reviewers out there who are vape advocates. And I tip my hat to them for what they do. I have never been a vape advocate, and in that, through my channel, I have been an advocate for vaping. I review hardware, so I never get into the political side of things. I don't get into political side of things in my life, so I tend to avoid it here. Yeah. But this is a question, one of the questions that's come up through the Facebook group from young Timothy, age 4.5. Young Timothy writes, I can't do that. Hi, Lynn. On the news today, the UK government are planning on putting a ban on smoking in pub gardens, amongst other places outside. I assume this will be vaping also. What are your thoughts on that topic? I think it's just a sad reflection of the times. I think it's got nothing to do with smoking, to be honest. I think it's just people meddling in things they shouldn't meddle in, and it's just sad. It's a sad reflection of the world today, where they can ban you on smoking outside. If a pub has a smoking area or a smoking garden where they say you smokers can go there, smokers should be allowed to go there. Vapors can have whatever. But I don't think that's something that should be governed or rules should be put in place for. I think it's horrendous, because what are they going to do next? If you dye your hair and you're over 55, then you shouldn't be allowed in public. That's going to be the next law, which I'd be very happy about. But yeah, I think that's scandalous. But it doesn't surprise me in the slightest. Doesn't surprise me. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I remember when vaping really kicked off, and before in the UK, I always followed the rule that I never vaped where smoking. If you couldn't smoke somewhere, I wouldn't vape there either. Because, you know, in people's heads, it just used to see the vapour and they'd get upset. So I never did that. I know a lot of people went the other route and said, it's not smoke, I'm not smoking, just to be dicks. But, yeah, it's... I don't understand how they could apply that to vaping, because secondary smoke is completely different to secondary vapour. I mean, what's the harm from... Anyway, it's a whole on... It's a bag of shite, to be honest. Ash personally thinks I'll turn people... The boundaries be a boundering. Andy Social, I heard that Nick prevents numerous viruses. Yes. You die. Over the top. As it's not illegal to vape inside currently, surely it wouldn't be captured with them. Well, the thing is, it's up to the person that is running that pub, if you like. Was that not the thing back in the day? Some pubs said, yeah, you can vape here if you want. It's not smoking. But it's a weird one. Won't somebody please think of the children? Yeah, I mean, that's how we're in. I mean, that was just... Oh, no, I'm not going down the politics. No, behave, Blair. Yeah. It's the same in train stations and things like that here. No smoke, no vape. That's... Yeah. It's just shite. It's just shite. Right, I'm looking for all the other questions. If you have any suffering succotash, if you have any questions, any points of discussion, anything you want to kick off, then feel free to shout out. Just remember, don't do drama. We don't care what somebody else is doing. So just no drama. We don't do drama. Daniel, there's no internet bullying here. It's all friendly banter. You greeting face. Yes. It's all from a place of love. Yeah. Yeah, Swirling Mark. That's what I believe as well. Each establishment should be allowed to decide whatever they want. And that's what I always thought was the case. Where's your flow? Where's my flow? Oh, my flow. Geppetto flow. Oh. Sorry, I'm trying to do my best Colin Farrell in Bruges. It's not here. I don't know. And I know I say this a lot. People that watch me regularly know this. I never ask. I never chase. Somebody says they're going to send something. Awesome. If they don't send it, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. So hopefully it'll come. But we'll just have to wait and see. Oh, geeky. Yeah. Oh, whatever happened to him? Andy. Not Andy, sorry, James. Yeah, I used to enjoy his videos. I watched these videos a lot. until he did the whole MOSFETs are going to kill us. I remember that one. That was yeah. I didn't agree with him on that one, but he was a good reviewer. He really was. He already passed the menopause. Mrs. Mo, could you do me a favour and just slap your good man across the back of the head? Yeah, if the government want to stop smoking so badly, ban cigarettes. Yeah, I mean that should be the simple thing. It should just. But anyway, I need to vape. I need to vape. Right, let's have a look at some questions here. Let's see if we can't prompt some discussion. Paul Barnsley, age 14, suggested question: in what year will the machines take over? I think he was referring to the fact that I was going to watch Terminator. Alex Lebinsky, who can't think of anything. Alex Lebinsky will obviously, that was a subtle ploy to push the fact that he actually sells squonkers. Because that's just his thing. She actually did. Sorry, Mo. Bubbles RC Shed. Are you worried that YouTube may shut down vape product reviewing channels? This may be dangerous and I may regret this. I am touching wood on my worktop here as I say this. I'm not one for complaining or as I said, getting involved in drama and all that kind of stuff. To this point, in over a decade, I've never had strikes. I've never had videos taken down or anything like that. All my videos are still up. I've never had any issues with YouTube in the whole time I've been doing this. Maybe it's because I'm just a small channel and nobody gives a shit what I do. But I've never had any issues, and I really don't worry about YouTube at all. Mainly because I would just go and get a job. Sorry. Oh my god, this is not possibly what I should be saying. But yeah, it's just, sorry, it's just a vape channel. I'm just some fat old guy in a shed talking shite about vape gear. If they shut down my channel, I would just go and get a job. I understand it for some people, with it being their possibly part of their primary income, or it generates their income, that kind of stuff. I would feel for them on that. I really would. I mean, yeah. Vaping on YouTube pretty much died back in, what was it, 2018, when they stopped revenue. It stopped, they just basically, you can't find our videos unless you go searching for them. So since that point, it's just enjoy the ride while you can, from my point of view. Sorry, I know it's possibly not the correct answer to give, but that's my answer on that one. Matthias, whatever happened to squonking? Is it dead? How dare you? Squonking's not dead. It's the future. And the future is now. I don't know, mate. I really don't know. I love squonking. I think squonking's fantastic. I understand, even though if I was trapped on a desert island, my preference would be to have a squonker. I do see the appeal of borrow mods. I think borrow mods for out and about are far better as an AIO, an all-in-one device, if you like. I prefer taking a borrow mod out with me if I go somewhere over a squonker, because a squonker's a bit more... A borrow mod can be a dirty thing, don't get me wrong, but squonkers can be dirty. So yeah, I just find a borrow mod more convenient But I do wish, those of you that have been around for years, you know that things always went in a cycle. You know, you would have Carto Tanks, Genesis, Squonking, RTA, RDA, Borrow, Carto Tank, and it would just go round in a loop. And then we suddenly got stuck on Borrows, and we've been stuck for, I don't know, what, 2-3 years now? We've been stuck in it, and it just never seems to get on from it. Who else? Right, what have I got? The only strike professional reviewers. Mo, that's absolutely right. The maker of mods has a great mech squonk at his site. Who's that? The maker of mods. I don't know who that is. That's gone right over my head. Screen goes dark, channel unavailable. Yes, it's because I don't swear. RTA's rule. Yes, Mr. Fisher. RTAs that hold 24 ml of juice. Could we wick with coconut husks, those stuck in... What's going to happen when they ban disposables? Bugger all. Bugger all. Once again, this is... I'm not fashionable. I'm not in vogue. I'm none of these things. This is just an opinion of a boring old guy. Disposables isn't going to change anything. Getting rid of disposables, they'll just go back onto pods with replaceable coils or disposable pods. It's not going to change anything. I don't really think it is. The next thing you know is that because everybody, this is my point of view, because everybody got up in their high chairs and went, think of the children, let's ban disposables, and so many vapors were behind that, you gave them permission to ban something vape related. What's going to stop them going on to the next thing? That's what worries me more than anything, is that when the kids move from disposables and then just go back to vaping pods, with replaceable pods, are they going to target them next? That's the thing. Feel free to disagree. More vape. Alcyon. Is it Alcyon? Hello. Are we still persecuting this long unlived hoofed animal? Borrow, aye, breeze tones, yeah. Borrows just became the daily. The new hairstyle suits me. I'll have you know I've had this hairstyle for over 20 years now. It's just... yeah. Well... Mod Maker. Oh, Mod Maker. Oh, Mod Maker. Oh, Squonker. Sorry. Yeah, I've got a Mod Maker Squonker there. Yes. When will the Mark V Gene fight that you promised people? Oh, sorry. Oh, the... No, that's not happening. Shh, don't talk about that. Don't talk about that. Yes. I think that they should make all disposable users go back, make them use Genesis atomizers. That'll soon stop them. That'll soon stop them. Was that Flavour Talk on BB just rumours? Flavour Talk on BB. Flavour Talk on BB? I'm not sure what you mean, Adrian. What BB is or whatnot. The banning of flavours. Yeah, it's been they've been tweeting that and talking about that over here. Certainly. Mick. Yes, my friend, you were fashionable in the 70s. I've seen the photos. $2,000 on custom keyboards. Yeah, custom keyboards is quite a big thing. It's a me, Paul. Already forgot. Mate, I forget everybody. And unless you're in my face every day, then I forget lots of things. I humbly apologise. What's in line next for reviews? Anything interesting in the market now? Like I said, the Geppetto Flow with the Simi system. Obviously, I reviewed the original, the benchmark Simi from Hussar. I am interested to vape it, or not vape it, to break it, take it to bits, put it through its paces. Yes, I'll leave it at that. Right, next question. Martin Rowland has kind of had this question. If squonking is coming back, what can the industry do to give it a hand, i.e. mass-produced mods? Nah, I don't think the industry would ever do anything to give it a hand. That's the problem. The industry, as in big business, are just going to keep doing what they're doing to make money. Why, if they're making money doing what they're doing, why would they change anything? I don't think just squonking is just... I just don't see squonking ever being big again. I could be very wrong, but I just don't think it will be, which is a shame. Paul, quite recently I tried a Genesis RBA that's everything what's wrong with vaping combined by the devil. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. What else? Cheryl, hey, how you doing? Daniel, Herring Muncher from Norway. Will 2025 be the year? Will 2025 be the year mech tubes really come back? I think there's even less chance of mech tubes coming back than squonking. I really do. I've not watched the... Daniel does say the new Infinite Mod Hydra has some real innovation. That's Sam Bogan just reviewed it, didn't he? I've not watched the review. I'm curious what the innovation you're talking about is. I don't think I've seen any innovation in the mech game since... What? The clutch? The switch? What was the switch with the clutch in it? Was it the clutch? I think that was the last time I saw it. Yeah, Andrew, you're absolutely right. Why risk rocking the boat when feeding the current fads equals profit? Yeah, 100%. 100%. David, do you think Vape Expo will be more like the pre-COVID days now disposables have been banned? I sincerely hope so. I am going to... Well, there's a group of us going down for Birmingham this year. Really curious. I'm what was it? The Ohm Zone? I would love to see them expanding on the Ohm Zone, but I don't know. I don't know. I mean, UK modders. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen there. Priest Tones, do you think the big companies will pivot into cannabis devices? Yes. I know of a couple that are in the process of doing it. Well, Limelight, for example. Limelight are going down the cannabis game. Mr. Childs, if you could review anything other than vape gear, what it would be? Movies. I love movies. Since I was a child. I've not bored you with that, but my first job ever was in a picture house, or the movie house, or the flicks, whatever you call it. Yeah, I'd love to do that. James, if you were to choose platforms, what would you prefer based on your personal experience with these devices? Borrow, Dot, or Simi? the Simi is quite smart. It still has things that need ironed out, in my humble opinion, but I think there is something there. I really do think there is something there. So, yeah. My personal platform, I don't really have a personal I would vape in anything. To be honest, I think there's something about a standard regulated mod and just an RTA that I always loved. And there's so many beautiful regulated mods. Just a standard 18650 DNA 60 regulated mod. It's just something beautiful about them. I need a 60-watt kick. Yes, a 60-watt kick would do the thing. I still want to get a cheap borrow AIO kit. There's so many to choose from. There really is. The Hydra is a clever design. The Witofo Stefanorian Ram Squonk mod in the mail. Holy my god, that's going back some. That's going back some. Yeah, Daniel, I'll give it a watch. Chris, did you ever grab a classic from years back? I often find myself building my Rose V2 from donkeys ago. It's a classic. The V2 was the yes. V2 was good. Classics. Not so much these days. I must admit, the original Skyline RTA is still one of my most used RTAs. Mr. Blair is the big spoon. Yes, you are, my friend. Yeah, for sure. Daz, if I shout at you at the expo again, I'm sorry. It's alright, many people shout at me at the expo. It's usually along the lines of freak. That's all I hear. You like the end of Game of Thrones. Can't trust you as a movie reviewer. There is a discussion to be had there. I'm not going to get drawn in, but the last season of Game of Thrones was not. I'll shut up. Johan, why is it we can't see you setting up an old mech tube with a mesh atty on it? Because I've not got time for that. Who wants to sit and set up a Jenny atty? Seriously. It's Russian roulette. It's just Russian roulette. Yes. No. Not happening. Not happening. Anyway, there's Martin Shaw asks a question. It's actually I'm really, really curious what you think of this one. What do you think about products at the moment? Martin thinks it's peaked. Martin is a glass half empty kind of guy. I'm sorry, Martin, but you are. It has to be said. Anyway, any new products seem to be just aesthetics now. They all perform the same. They're just jazzed up a bit. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. He isn't wrong. Here's my take on it, is that, and yeah, I'm saying things you've heard a million times. I'm really sorry. But since 2016, I have constantly said that we've kind of reached a plateau when it comes to RBAs, RTAs, all that kind of stuff. And they all pretty much, you have to be a bit of a moron to make a bad one. Especially one that leaks, but you can fix if you release a V2. And yeah, we'll not go there. But yeah, He's not wrong. I mean, it really does. I don't think the vaping has really changed. I mean, you're really just, it's a coil caught in juice, and you're applying power to it. I mean, come on, it's as simple as it gets. However, I really do think that things that have improved are the design of mods. I think the fact that they're no longer a lot of them are no longer just glued together in a bit of wood or a metal box. It's not just hot glue. It's modders are now designing things to be taken apart and serviced. Atties are now easier to get into, easier to fill juice up, easier to put a coil in. You get air pins with everything now. You've got lots of airflow options. There are changes there, and it all depends. If you're just here to vape, the world's your oyster. But I would say from a hobbyist point of view, I think from a hobbyist point of view, it's gone from this to this. It's not as exciting, I don't think, from a hobbyist point of view. You have to, yeah. There's things that I think don't like using the word, but I'll use it anyway. There's a lot of things that get hyped that aren't really bringing anything new to the game, but they get hyped to hell anyway. And that's one of the biggest things that pisses me off in this game. Anyway, but fair question. What did people say? What did people say? What cannabis products are Limelight making? That I cannot, or do not. That I cannot tell you. But yes, Limelight have moved into the cannabis game. I don't know what the specifics are. I think he's already set up a group. It was announced in the Limelight Facebook group. Yeah, David, people still manage to mess it up. Breeze Tones, the finer details in the high end are still incrementally changing for the better. Yes, aesthetics can perform right too. Yep, vape progression isn't dead. The thing is, and I'm not having a go at Martin here. You will all, it's a glass half empty, glass half full kind of thing. See the positive in things. I like to look at the positive in things, and that's how I look at the vape game. You'd have to be daft to not understand that it's radically changed. But I mean, like the simi system this year was possibly the most exciting thing, just because somebody was doing something different. No matter what you think of the system, it's still something new coming. So yeah, I was happy about that. The other thing I think has changed a lot, not a lot, but is changing, is that a lot of the mod makers are improving on their customer service. There are still modders out there that, you know, they could just show you a picture like this and say new system. People would X one like crazy and just throw their money at it without even knowing what they were buying. That does my head in, but that's just the way things are. But a lot of modders that used to operate like that are now providing details and breaking down mods and tanks, letting you know materials, dimensions, showing you how it's made. I like that. The only thing I think that still needs improvement is customer service. I think it's been my bugbear since day one in the vape game, and it still remains the same. As some mod makers don't seem to treat their customers like they're running a business. You know, it's when it comes to customer service, that is just something that bugs me. But yeah, the new Rift Borrow mod was cool. I liked the Rift. Because it was aesthetically wise. It was something out there. It really was. And Gary that made it is an absolute nut job, and I love him for that. Johan, or Jonah, sorry. Hello. Agree with the hype brand advocates. Sometimes it's hard to tell which is true, just to pure marketing. Yes. But you'll always... you'll see these people across the group. I'm sorry, I'm not naming names. I'm not bashing anyone here. If you know who they are, you know who they are. But you'll see the same names across various groups that are always inflating the hype and all that. Yeah. The biggest... I dream of a custom side-by-side with Simi and MMV. Yes, that would be nice. The biggest change is convenience pods are disposable for zero skill vapors. Yeah. Yeah. I still think that, and I know that I'm in the minority when I say this, but most people that have worked in a vape shop, most people that have been around vapors, smokers, or smoked for years, you used to trying to convert older people. When I say older people, people about my age and older, smokers, to vaping was the mess. They just didn't want to do it. When you smoked, took a cigarette out of the packet, threw it in your mouth, lit it, chucked it. That was it. When they came out with disposables, it was the quickest and easiest way to get somebody off of cigarettes into vaping. It really was. And then I personally thought that was a gateway to then get people on to realise, and hang on, disposables are a bit expensive. If I keep vaping like this, I can move to rechargeable batteries with replaceable coils. And that's what a lot of vape shop owners were doing. They were, progressing people. So I never ever had a problem with disposables. I thought they were a great thing. But yeah, they're gone now. They're gone now. Johan, I don't care that you're in Greece. I don't care. Stop it. Stop it. Have you got any oil for this? Yeah. Have you got a coil for this, mate? What's the name of the device? Have you got it with you? No. It looks like that one. Yes. Adrian, did you find your battery cap that you dropped last week? Yes, it was on my seat. Swirling Murk, the amount of broken exposed vape batteries I see in the street is obscene. That is not the fault of the vape battery. That is not the fault of the vape battery, though. That is the fault of the individual. Yeah, anyway. Snarky. if you have to rate the stink, sorry, the sink, you almost had me there, the sink RBA, if you have to rate it from 1 to 10, how are you going to give it? You mean this thing here that's sitting with a tank full of juice that I was vaping with earlier on? Well, all I would say is if you like a bubble, it's awesome. It's got a lovely bubble just there. I don't do ratings. I don't do 1 to 10s or banana stickers. It's very good. It's very good. And they're going to do a couple of tweaks to it before the retail version, which will improve it, in my humble opinion. But I have enjoyed using it. I think for me, like the Eden and the Regen, was it the Regen? I think they were... I think this one, for me, seems to work better for RDL DL. But that's just my take just now. Bubble shamed. That's cold. Hi David, how you doing? There's not much difference between a disposable and a red Delro with EUC coils. That's very true. That's very true. I could do eggplants. Now, there's a thing. Who really built the pyramids? Now there's an eternal question. Who built the pyramids? That's a good question. I don't think it was the Egyptians. I really don't. Vaporoni is not shutting down. It's not shutting down. Vaporoni is not shutting down. Vaporoni is moving its brick and mortar store to Kirkcaldy, which is just up the road from me. But they're moving out of Edinburgh, but they're not shutting down. They're just moving the brick and mortar store, and you'll still have the online shop where everything will still be available. So, yeah, there you go. Can you recommend me one mouth to lung tank? No, I don't really do. I don't do recommendations as such, because all my opinions are in the videos. I mean, what I could say is, out of all the tanks that I have here that I use and keep, mouth to lung wise, what would be my favourite? It's not. I still really like the Narva. The Narva is good. I like the mouth to lung in the Narva. It is good. I also still think that the FEV, the VS, sorry, this is probably no use to you whatsoever. The VS FEV, is it 16, 17 mil diameter? What am I doing? This one. That FEV there is still one of my favourite mouth to lung tanks. I still like to vape that mouth to lung. But I don't keep a lot of mouth to lung tanks. I just don't. Bishop's nice, yeah. Snarky, do you get the RBA too hot when using it? What was we're talking about the sink? No. Sink doesn't get toasty hot. Depends how you're vaping with it. I mean, if you're vaping, I mean, I've a 0.36 ohm 3mm ID coil, but 30 watts, vapes away quite the thing. The best two, the flashy 4.5, yep, K-Fun, yep, so many. The Diplomat was very good, very good. I really like the new Diplomat RDL though. Sorry, I know that's off track, but I really like that. The Mini X, new one, nice airflow and top fill, yep. Have I ever done a collab with a company like Bogan? No. I have worked with companies. See, being having an honest streak, it's a terrible thing. I would love to lie to you right now, I really would. How far am I going back? About 8 years ago. My business, Todd's Reviews. The reviewing's always been a hobby, but I actually managed to set up my own business because I used to get a lot of contract work with Chinese companies with designing, prototyping, testing stuff. I did quite a few things over the years. I managed to do that for, well, I still have my business is still going. Doesn't make any money anymore, but it used to. So I've never put my name on anything outside what I did with Van and Dell. But they weren't a big company, you know, they were just a small modding company. But yes, I have over the years. But yeah, fun times, fun times. Can I ask how much money you have spent on vape? You can ask. Will I answer? I've said this before. I mean, when I first started vaping, I went down the rabbit hole very quickly. Within the first month, I went from, you know, just CE4s and things like that. I went straight down to the la-di-da gear, modders and things like that. And I was spending so much money. So I was quite lucky because I worked in IT at the time. So I was doing quite well. So I did a lot of yeah, I spent a lot of money, thousands. But then, being completely upfront, then I started to get sent stuff, and for whatever reason, I don't know why. I really don't know why. Just luck more than anything. I got a lot of posh gear sent on free to review, and that carried on for years. And what I spend on vape gear now is not a lot compared to what I used to. Not a lot. Johan, the D Pro Mini. Just shut up. I would never put my name on anything or be involved with anything. Never again. Never, ever, 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 ever. What was the Lost Vape that you collaborated? I didn't. The Oxfa Black and Gold. Oxfa, I tell you, the Oxfa pods are really, really good. Andy, question. Does it matter, as unlike ciggies, we still have the thing after using it, unlike a ciggy? I have no idea what that means. I'm really, really sorry. I have no idea what that means. Adrian, very, very good point. Spent way more on smoking. I would like to say the same. I spent way more on vaping than I did smoking. Tim Lees, what's the oldest mod you still have kept? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Ow! That was my finger. This is possibly the oldest one. This was made by a guy on UKV. I think it's a DNA 1230, maybe. I think I've had this for about 12 years. Probably 12 years. I mean, I've got... I've got dingoes and rollers and Nemesis and stuff like that here as well, but this is another one. This was a really old one. And this is the Chang bot. Is that going to focus? This was one that was sent on. Oh, this is again. This is about 13 years. That's a really old one. I've got old mods that here that, but I'd actually let go, but then I've got back again over the years. Yeah, there's loads of old stuff here. Loads of old stuff. I mean, got stuff like that still sitting here. Stig Helix. Those who, now, that was a side-by-side from way back in the day. Well, yeah, there's loads here. There's loads here. Is there anything really, really old that might excite you? There's lots of old squonkers. Lots of old squonkers. I mean, let's say, I mean, I've got like Nemesis. Nemesis is still there. Oh god, the Trinity. Narmod's Trinity. Oh my god, that needs a good polish. A Trinity. That's going back some now. But I've go through phases. It was the same like GG, Golden Greek stuff. I used to go through phases where I would go, oh, I'd love to hold a Golden Greek mod again. I'd go and buy all the gear, and then I'd keep it for a few months and sell it again. Yeah. Massive spring connections. Yes, springs. I've actually got... I've got a drawer there full of bullet. Remember the bullet springs? They were the best springs. Used to change them out in all my old mods. I've still got a doodah of them there. Yeah, the Stig needs a polish. What's your favourite borrow device? I don't... well, I have... I wouldn't say favourite, but my most used borrow device is a Delro. Born in the Man Cave, I would say that's a good video showing anything, say 10 years plus, and prove they all still work. Yeah. Yeah, Andy, the voltage drop on the GGTS. The thing was, you never noticed the voltage drop because you were vaping at like 1.8 ohms, you know, so you never noticed the voltage drop. It wasn't a thing. It wasn't. But then, yes. So, did you know that that the Vape Expo in the Philippines got raided by Bureau of Internal Revenue? I didn't know that. I really don't know. I must be admit, I don't know much about what goes on in the Philippines. I apologise. The Privari. Yes, I have an impressive Narmods cap collection. We don't see much chat about the GG RBA. The Periscope. The Periscope was alright. It was a bit flawed. I have a lot of... I actually have a lot of respect for Emil. A lot. I think he's barking mad. An absolute loony. But I have so much respect for what he did for the vape game. I mean, he'll tell you that he invented the world. He invented God. But what he did do for the vape game was pretty damn impressive. Really was. But there's part of me that thinks that it's like I think the Periscope was designed for somebody that has not been part of the borrow game. He didn't know what was going on in the borrow world, like all the different borrow tanks, all the different borrow mods. It's like it was designed for a standard borrow tank and a billet box. Whereas these days you have to take into account all the other different things. So it was a shame, but there's no telling them. The Vamo, yes. What's your preference, 3D printed mod or CNC mod? Right, here's the thing. There's a question that somebody else asked, which was very, very, very good. HB, right, HB. Why didn't 3D printing drastically bring down the price of mods? Right. I'm curious. what you think. Why did 3D printing not bring down the price of mods? What's the difference between? What do you think the difference is between? Let's see. Okay, this and let's do this. 3D printed. Delro, 3D printed. Billet box. What is the difference in getting one of these to market? What's the difference price-wise in developing these two mods? So starting with an idea, designing it in CAD, buying the software, learning the software, designing it, then you've got to get it machined or made or printed or whatever. Then you've got all the other business aspects of it and getting it out there. And what is the difference between these two things? Somebody tell me why they should cost. What's the cost difference? And that's something I think people forget, is that a lot of people just think that because this is printed, they have this idea of a physical 3D printer in somebody's bedroom and automatically assume that it should be way, way cheaper than something that's made in, say, Delrin. But the process is almost identical. It's almost identical. The cost difference is in the material at the end of the day. Nothing else is different. Curious what your take on it. I love stuff like this. I wish we were all in the pub. I wish we were all in the pub and could talk about this. It's yes, this is the stuff that's interesting to me. Andy, you just said all I type faster than I can type it. Joel Tom, have you ever had to replace the battery on LiPo Delro? Yes, I have. A couple of times. Andy, NRN wires and the wire zappers were brilliant. The Casperidian, yeah, very good at it. Yep, Born in the Man Cave. There you go. That's from a mod maker direct. It's Face Meat has absolutely got it. It's listen. Everybody has their opinions, and I respect somebody's opinion. I'll listen to anybody's opinion, but when somebody starts spouting at you or giving you their opinion and they aren't open to listening to, maybe, I'm not talking about me, but other people that know about the business and know about manufacturing. I don't know a lot of things. I learn from modders and talking to modders, and I got my eyes opened. And I mean, it was the same back in the day. I mean, 12, 13 years ago, you know, when modders started off, that's when I started finding out about how much prototyping actually costs, and the costs involved before you get to prototyping. And like minimum order quantities and things like that, and and running a business, not just pumping mods out in a Facebook group, but a proper business. It's yeah, I'm not denying that there are people out there that take the piss, absolutely take the piss. They really do. But as a whole, yeah. Dane, how you doing? We're all going to Greece in October. Woohoo! Daniel, that's a thing, mate. My preference is not 3D printed. I still maintain that 3D printing was one of the greatest innovations, one of the best things to ever happen, because if you do invest in a good 3D printer, rather than committing a piece of stabilized wood to a CNC machine for a prototype, you can now invest in a 3D printer for a few £100 in your house or your shed and do a prototype before you start messing about with slightly more expensive materials. So I think 3D print, I personally think 3D printing is fantastic. Is it my preference for mods? No. Do I think that some people charge an awful lot for 3D printed mods? Yes, I do. I really do. But that doesn't apply across the board. It doesn't apply across the board. Subarus and don't be bringing the car into it. Do not be bringing my car into this. You should do a video about how to change the lipo of a Delro. It's. I think there's actually videos in the Facebook group. If you're in the Facebook group, I think the price to make a 3D printed mod is fairly low. You're not just paying for the modder's ideas. There's a world of difference between a 3D printed mod and a well-designed 3D printed mod. You have to design a 3D printed mod to be 3D printed well, which is the same. It's the exact same process as a CNC. Literally, you can't just say I want this shape with these cutouts. There's a lot more goes into it than I'm sorry if it sounds like I'm being preaching. I'm not. But you're right. You have to pay for the modder's ideas. The fact that the modder's trying to run a business, so he will have overheads, which he has to pass on to you. But that's just the way it goes. Right. I'm just skipping through questions here. There's 3D prints and there's 3D prints. Absolutely. Absolutely. There's also a massive difference between a raw printed device and one that has been finished and further processed. Yes. But the finish you can get on a, say, SLS to an FDM, that's the thing. Somebody can do an FDM print and they have to spend hours finishing it. Yeah, there's a whole... Yeah. Sorry, have I retired my drone, Lynn? I was actually going to sell my drone. I loved using my drone. I really did. I loved making drone videos. Just loved making drone videos. But then, sorry, things happened in my life, and I just stopped going out with it. And I did take it on holiday a few weeks ago, and I did use it a couple of times, and I thoroughly enjoyed using it. But it's not getting the use that it does, so I might just sell it. I honestly don't know, and we're coming up to winter again, so hang on. But hey, I watched your video about the Cthulhu Vapor and I buy it before 2 days. It's my first RTA and I have problems with coils. I put 0.7, but my mod changing 0.9 to 1.1. Make sure that your 510 pin is tight. Make sure that your posts are tight. It could be your mod. Make sure that your 510 contacts are clean. Make sure they're clean as well. That can be another issue. These are just things to watch out for. These are things to watch out for. And as long as it's not jumping up and down all the time, even if it does, if it does come out to 1.1 from 0.9, you're using a regulated device, just adjust the taste. But just make sure your contacts are tight and clean out your 510. Clean out your 510. Nick's absolutely right in that as well. We could all have CNC boxes with hot glue. Bring back the Hanas. I never owned a Hana. You know, I never actually owned a Hana. What's your favourite RDL, DL, RBA and mouth to lung one? Don't do that. Don't do favourites. I can tell you what ones I own, but I won't tell you what my favourite is. John Frape asks a question. John Frape, who's no longer age 4.5. I won't tell you what age John Frape is because he doesn't like me to talk about it. He wants to know if, are vaping donuts the future, and did Emio invent them? Does anybody remember vaping donuts? Do you remember them? Oh my god. That was going back some. I would say my most used RBA just now, my most used RBA is the Sturdy. I really, really like the Sturdy a lot. I think it's an excellent RBA. I wouldn't say it vapes any better than anything else I own, but I like the design of it. I like the fact that I could get so much juice in my tank, and I can use my dot mods more because I get 4 ml of juice in it, 4.7 ml of juice, I think. So yes, right now that's possibly the one I use the most. Andrew, windowsill photo shots. Bring back the windowsill. Nothing like a bit of UPVC windows and a nice mod on top of it. Dimitri asks, is mayonnaise an instrument? That's from a cartoon, isn't it? That's from a cartoon. That's from a cartoon. I don't know what that is. Andrew, yes, exploding donuts of ow. Yeah, people used to complain that these vaping donuts, if you don't know, vaping donuts were a thing back in the day. It was just a little round bit of ceramic, if you like, and you would kind of sit your cotton on it, and this round bit of ceramic would heat up, but they had a tendency to crack. Oh, hello, Bob. Good to have you here, as always. Marin, it changed my own while I'm screwing coils. SpongeBob. I don't watch SpongeBob. I have watched SpongeBob, but I've not watched. I never watched it. Watched it. Patrick. That was it. Patrick. I have tried a mouth to lung build in a Sturdy, and it worked okay for me. I must admit, when I do mouth to lung, I do prefer a 0.8, which I never had the pins for the Sturdy one, so it was a 1 mil, But Isaiah, what Danny tubes do you have in your collection? I don't have any Danny tubes. I think the last Danny tube I had, oh my god, I'm guessing here. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's on the tip of my tongue. A 280T. Is that a Danny tube? Was that a Danny tube? A 280T? Ah, shite. See, you've got me here now. Was that a 280T? Danny 280T. A 2380T. A 2380T. Holy shit. Yes, that's going back some. That was the last tube I think I had. I tell you what, regulated tubes were, I think the only I think that's the only regulated tube mod that I still have. Yes, it is. That's a Gulliver, that's called. But there was what was the other one? Does anybody remember the elevator? There was an elevator V1 and a V2. That was a regulated, but you could adjust the height of it. You could do 650s and smaller batteries, and that was nice. 2380 was Hurtgen. The Diecode side by side. I don't actually have the Diecode side by side. I never have I? Not the wee one. I haven't had that. I'm not going to search. Did you once cover Privari? Yes, I did lots of Privari reviews back in the day, if I remember right. That's a baton for self-defense. That's the kind of thing that you would want to find a Ouija, and you would just want to take them down a dark alley and just smack the living shit out of them with. Sorry, that just came out. I don't know why. I was just thinking of somebody as I said that. Russell, you're not coming out on Saturday night. Is it just Friday night you're going out on? If you're still listening, I'm sure Dom said you weren't coming out on Saturday night or Saturday afternoon. Right. I think that's it for the questions front. There's one last question from Rick. Young Rick. Is patronage worth the expense? No. I have Patreon. You can pay $1.99 to watch me unbox stuff, or you can pay £3.50 to watch me unbox stuff and also get entered into free shit. Don't join it. It's shit. It's really boring, and I wouldn't advise anybody give me any money. There we go. That was how you do packaging the Privari way. You remember that? People getting all upset about their mods and everything, and Privari were just shipping it out in bubble wrap. Not giving a fuck. I had this thing. Who made it? Was it a Sunbox? Was it Sunbox that did a squonking adapter for a Privari? I had one of them. Was it Sunbox? It was awesome. I loved that thing. You put your Privari. It was like a side by side almost. I think you put your Privari and mod inside upside down, and then you had a squonking adapter on the other side. I think I reviewed it years ago. Yes, don't pay attention to the man, but listen, honestly, don't. Patreon, there's money involved. I don't like talking about it. I'm very lucky that I do have patrons, and they give me a power of abuse and treat me like I'm ungrateful little brother. That's what it feels like sometimes. But I'm very grateful to all of them. But yes, I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. I really wouldn't. I think it was LimeWire. I've always been an excellent seller. Yeah, I'm shit at selling anything. Was it? Was it Sun? I'm sure it was Sunbox. I could be wrong. Ah! Ha 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 ha! Here we go. Hang on a second. I don't know if I want to watch this. This could be. Will this work? Oh. This was 10 years ago. 10 years. Oh my god. Hey, hello, fatty. Where is it? Let's get to it. Yeah, there we go. Oh, the mini Privari. Oh, the mini Privari was awesome. Yeah, you put in your Privari in the side, and then you had the squonker on the other side. Come on, get on with it. Yep, there we go. Holy shit. That's going back some. That's going back some. And it was a Sunbox. They didn't come with fire extinguishers back in those days either. I'm only joking. I'm only joking. I was just putting that joke out there. Did it set? Oh, Nick's already. So, Nick, I've just seen your comment. Sorry, bud. Jumpers were goalposts. How can we push for better tech 18350 from battery companies? It's I think 18350 tech. 18350, and I know you know this. Sorry, buddy. 18500 tech is what I would like to see improved. Because we got 18650 improved, 18350 improved, but they never did anything with 18500s. I used to like the 18500 format sometimes. I would like to have seen that improved, but yeah, how do you push for it? I've no idea. No idea. Right. I need to vape. We've also reached that point in the evening where I am boring the tits off myself talking. I usually bore the tits off myself when I talk after about 5 minutes, so the fact we've been going as long as we have is quite impressive. Yeah, that exactly. 18500s for the new Dicodes mods. It's weird. I mean, what are the 18350s up to now? Was it 5 amp? Was it 5 amps? Shit, I can't remember. But like 1200 milliamp hour. I mean, remember when the 18350s? What were they? 800 milliamp hour was the best you could get. Oh, Andrew, it's been more than a full Bizardo. We've been going for an hour and 35 minutes. That's a Bizardo and a half. Here's a question for you. Actually, before, if there's anybody here, I wasn't going to mention this, but I'm going to mention it now. Now that somebody's brought up Phil. Without naming names, and I am not saying, I'm not saying that my reviews are, I'm not saying they're good in any shape or form here. I know my reviews haven't changed in 10 years and they are what they are. I'm okay with that. I review the same way I would if we were sitting in the pub And I know for a lot of people it's boring. They don't want to know the things that I talk about. They just want to know the cliff notes. I get that. But watching a lot of reviews recently, I see a lot of other reviews getting a lot shorter. And YouTube reviews are almost like... it's almost like they're designed for the TikTok generation type thing, where they don't cover a lot of the things that are important to me, like dimensions, weights, materials. Can you take things to bits? What do they look like inside? A lot of reviews are just they're just dumbed down almost. They've got all the transitions and the glitzy stuff and bro fam and all this kind of stuff, and but I just remember I remember a lot of reviewers that I'm talking about that used to do well structured reviews that got into the technical details, if you like, but that seems to be disappearing. Has anybody else noticed that, or is it just me? And once again, I'm not saying that mine are any better than anybody else's. I know what my reviews are. I'm well aware of it. Yeah, I saw filmmaking stands. I did see that. 9 amps on the 18350s. 10 amp. Yes. Yeah, because 10 amp I could get down to a 0.5 ohm coil on an 18350. That's right. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting at, is that reviews, and I'm not saying these guys are wrong to do what they're doing. I really am. I'm not saying they're wrong doing what they're doing, and I'm not criticizing them. It really is. It's as you say, if people have less attention span. I mean, I must admit, when I watch reviews personally, I fast forward through to the bits that interest me, and I know people do that in my videos, and that doesn't bother me in the slightest. I am almost, to be honest, doing reviews for myself, so that I can remember how things work, so that when I go back to use that RTA in about a year's time, I can go back and see how it works in my review. Yes, it's like all my reviews are just like an instruction manual for everything I need. Yeah, Peter, my level of entertainment is top notch. I don't think and other outside vlogs, and even then, I don't think this is entertaining. I really think it's very boring. I know you're watching, but anyway, I don't think there's anything entertaining in my reviews at all. I want my reviews to be informative. That's important to me. And I'll take the slagging. I'll take the slagging about color balance, volume, anything. I'll take a slagging over anything. But the review has to be precise. All the information hasn't been there, and I feel terrible if I don't get all the information in there. That really does get to me. What better borrow RBAs out there looking for either the Mr. Friends, watch the reviews, my friend. Watch the reviews. I've got reviews out for that gear. I would just suggest you go and watch it, mate. Sorry, I'm not trying to just dismiss you, but watch the reviews. Tom, I like that answer. I like that answer. It's not about who's better, it's about the information, the joy of a hobby, and the honesty of a reviewer. Nailed it. I like that. I like that a lot. I like that there are honest reviewers still out there. I know. Roy Morrison, you're going to get such a hiding. You're going to get such a hiding. You're my reference source for dragging it, and I haven't used it. You don't have to be so diplomatic in the reviews. It's actually quite strange when I do get criticised for that a lot, and I don't mind being criticised in the at all. I've had that over the years a lot. People saying stop being so diplomatic. It's not being called. I'm not being diplomatic. I'm being constructive. There is a difference. I am very diplomatic. I will admit that. But it's being constructive with your feedback. If there's a negative, I'm not going to say, fucking hell, this is shite, and then hit it with a hammer. I'll be constructive with my feedback and put it away in such a way that people will understand that it's a bit of constructive feedback, and I'm letting people know about it. I think it's just a more mature way of giving information. And that's my point, is that I don't think I really do much. I don't do very well in the entertainment front. I'm waffling some pish now. I see you found the hair gel tube today. I'm going for the something about Mary. That's what I'm going for. I'm going right up. I just kind of load it full of gel, and then I lean against the toilet wall for a good 5 minutes, and it just kind of sets there. Diplomatic pipe bomb. You gotta let that go. You've got to let that go. Can't believe you brought up the old pipe bomb again. Bastard. Right, let's have a vape, and then we're going to go. The thing is, and I do say this as much as I remember to, when I do remember to say it, is that never take my word for anything. Never take it as the final opinion on anything. Go on forums, Facebook groups, watch other reviews, and take it as a catch-all, and then take what you want out of all these different reviews and different opinions and whatnot. Then decide if you're going to spend the money. But let's face it, if you're a proper bloke, you're going to watch the review after you've bought it. I can't get my glasses on. No, hi Todd. Is there RBTA other than the ghost style RBTA? Yeah, the RBTAs, they're not the same wicking system, but up the top there are other borrow RDTAs as they were called. There have been 2 or 3, 4, 5. There's been a few actually over the years, but yeah, the ghost is very good. Ghost, once you get the wicking nailed, it's excellent. Mouth to lung temp limited Volvo control. Right. I'm going to go because people are saying nice things, and I don't like reading nice things about myself. I'm not used to it, and that's just as a result of being married for over 30 years. Thank you very, very much, as always. I mean that sincerely. Thank you very much for being here, for watching. To all those people that have said things that my mother would be upset about, go fuck yourselves. I love you dearly, because this would be so boring if it wasn't for the banter. The banter is what makes this game so much fun. So thank you very, very much. And the next review will be... I don't know. It's either going to be the oval side-by-side or the Cthulhu. I'm not sure which one it's going to be. And if anything else comes in, I will let you know. But I am going to find a button that says end stream. And and I always get this bit wrong. Click on end stream.